All right, let's jump into it, shall we? Today we're going on a deep dive into some fascinating new research from Indonesia, more specifically the Wallace archipelago. It's a region that's just teeming with cultural and linguistic diversity, a real crossroads of the ancient world.
Yeah, it's like a living museum of human history, isn't it?
Absolutely. And for years, scientists have been trying to unravel the mystery of the origins of the people who first called Wallace home.
Right, it's been a puzzle for quite some time, but now, with advancements in DNA analysis, we're finally starting to get some answers. And let me tell you, they're pretty groundbreaking.
So this is more than just filling in a few gaps in the history books, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're talking about potentially rewriting whole chapters. This research is suggesting that migrations from New Guinea over the past 3,500 years have profoundly impacted Wallacea, shaping its genetics, languages, and culture in ways we never fully understood before.
Wow, 3,500 years? That's a massive span of time. So how did scientists even begin to piece together a story from so long ago? I mean, we're talking about a period way before written records, right?
Well, they had to become like DNA detectives.
Hmm.
Think about it. They analyzed 254 genomes, the complete set of DNA instructions from people in Wallacea and West Papua.
254, that's a lot of data.
It is. And by combining that data with linguistics and archaeology, they were able to start painting a picture of these ancient migrations.
Okay, so what did this DNA portrait reveal?
Well, one of the most significant findings is that West Papua emerges as like this major launching point for ancient Papuan seafarers.
Wow, so we're talking about people setting sail thousands of years ago, navigating vast distances without any of the modern technology we take for granted today.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? And their impact on Wallace was significant. Up to 60% of modern Wallacean ancestry can be traced back to these Papuan voyagers.
60%, that's more than half. That's like finding out that most of the people at your family reunion are actually descended from a common ancestor who lived thousands of years ago.
Exactly. And it just goes to show how interconnected we all are, how these ancient journeys are still reflected in our DNA today. But it doesn't end there. The story gets even more interesting.
So I understand there was another group of seafarers who played a role in shaping the history of Wallacea.
You got it. Right around the same time as these Papuan migrations, another group of skilled navigators, the Austronesians, were also making their way through the region.
Ah, the Austronesians. So we're not talking about a single wave of migration, but multiple groups converging on this archipelago, each bringing their own unique culture and traditions.
Right. And you can imagine how these interactions must have led to an incredible exchange of knowledge, skills, languages, and even genes. It's like a cultural and genetic melting pot, all shaped by the sea.
Fascinating. But what about the people who were in Wallacea before these migrations? The original inhabitants. Where do they fit into all of this?
That's the million-dollar question, and it's one of the biggest challenges researchers face. Tracing those very first inhabitants is like searching for a whisper in a hurricane. Their genetic traces have become incredibly faint due to the subsequent migrations and mixing that occurred over thousands of years.
So it's like trying to find a single voice in a chorus of thousands. But I'm sure scientists aren't giving up that easily. What are some of the techniques they're using to try to overcome this obstacle?
Well, one of the most promising techniques is ancient DNA analysis. It's like having a time machine for genetics, allowing scientists to peer beyond the genetic noise of later migrations and potentially catch glimpses of those elusive first settlers.
That's amazing. It's like we're on the verge of unlocking a whole new chapter of human history, one that's been hidden for centuries. And it makes you wonder, what other secrets are still out there waiting to be discovered?
Yeah, it really does make you wonder.
Yeah. But before we get lost in speculation about the past, I want to talk about how this research impacts our lives today. Because I understand it has some pretty significant implications for the future of medicine, specifically personalized medicine.
You're right, it does. For too long, medical research has focused on a relatively small and homogeneous segment of the human population, often overlooking the unique genetic diversity of groups like those in Wallace and New Guinea.
So, assuming that a treatment that works for one group will automatically work for everyone else is a risky proposition, to say the least.
Absolutely. It can lead to treatments that are ineffective or even harmful for certain individuals, and that's where personalized medicine comes in. By understanding the specific genetic variations within a population, we can develop treatments that are tailored to those variations.
So it's about moving away from this one-size-fits-all approach and recognizing that we need solutions that are as unique as the individuals they're meant to help. It sounds like a game changer.
It has the potential to be. And the research in Wallacea is playing a crucial role in that by providing valuable data about human genetic diversity, especially in populations that have been historically underrepresented in medical research.
It's like each new genome that's analyzed is adding another piece to the puzzle of human health, bringing us closer to a future where healthcare is as individualized as our DNA. Pretty remarkable stuff, right?
Absolutely. It's incredibly exciting to see where this research will lead us.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned and why it matters to you, our listener. We've talked about the incredible genetic legacy of those ancient Papuan and Austronesian voyagers, the challenges of tracing those elusive first inhabitants, and the potential of personalized medicine to revolutionize healthcare. But this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore. Welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating world of ancient migrations and DNA discoveries in the Wallacean archipelago. You know, it's mind-boggling to think about those early voyagers setting sail thousands of years ago and leaving such a profound mark on the region.
I know, right? It really makes you question what we thought we knew about the capabilities of those ancient societies. And what's particularly interesting is how this research is helping us understand the complex interplay between geography and genetics. You see, for a long time, Wallacean was seen as this kind of isolated region. But these findings suggest a much more dynamic and interconnected past.
So it's like those early seafarers were weaving together a genetic tapestry that spanned vast distances, connecting different parts of the world through their journeys. We've talked about the Papuan influence, but I'm curious to learn more about the Austronesians. What kind of impact did they have on Wallacean?
Well, the Austronesian influence is pretty significant. They brought with them a unique set of skills and technologies that had a lasting impact on the region. Like, for example, they introduced outrigger canoes, which allowed for more efficient long-distance travel and trade. And they also brought new agricultural techniques, like the cultivation of rice, which had a profound impact on the local diet and economy.
So they weren't just passing through, they were bringing innovation and change with them. It makes you wonder what life was like for the people who were living in Wallacean before all of these migrations. Earlier, we touched upon the difficulty of tracing the genetic lineage of those first inhabitants. What makes it so challenging to uncover their story?
Well, imagine you're trying to find a whisper in a crowded room. That's essentially what researchers are up against when they're trying to trace those genetic traces. All the subsequent waves of migration and mixing have made their genetic signature incredibly faint. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but instead of a haystack, it's a haystack that's been tossed around in a hurricane.
Okay, that definitely paints a picture of the challenge. So, are scientists just hoping for a lucky break? Or are there specific techniques they're using to try and overcome this obstacle?
Well, there's definitely a lot of ingenuity and persistence involved. One of the most promising techniques is ancient DNA analysis. By extracting DNA from ancient remains, scientists can bypass all that genetic noise from later migrations and potentially catch a glimpse of those early chapters of Wallacean history.
It's amazing how science can help us unlock secrets from the distant past. And it's not just about satisfying our curiosity about history. This research has real-world implications, especially in medicine. You mentioned personalized medicine earlier. Can you elaborate on how this research is paving the way for that?
Sure. You see, personalized medicine is all about tailoring healthcare to an individual's unique genetic makeup. For too long, medical research has kind of operated under this assumption that what works for one group will work for all. But we're learning that that's not always the case. And this research in Wallacean is really highlighting that incredible genetic diversity that exists within populations, and that diversity needs to be taken into account when we're developing treatments.
So it's like moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare and recognizing that we need more tailored solutions. But some people might argue that personalized medicine is too expensive or impractical. How would you address those concerns?
Well, it's true that personalized medicine can be more complex and resource-intensive than traditional approaches. But the potential benefits are just enormous. By tailoring treatments to an individual's genetic makeup, we can increase their effectiveness and reduce the risk of adverse reactions. And in the long run, this could actually lead to significant cost savings by preventing unnecessary treatments and hospitalizations. Plus, as technology advances and costs decrease, personalized medicine is becoming more and more accessible.
So it's an investment in the future of healthcare, one that could lead to better outcomes and a more equitable system. This research isn't just about the future of medicine, is it? It also challenges our understanding of history and our place in the world.
Exactly. This research reminds us that history isn't just some static collection of facts in a textbook. It's a dynamic and ever-evolving narrative that continues to shape our lives today. By understanding those complex migrations and interactions that have shaped our world, we gain a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of humanity and the enduring legacy of our ancestors.
It's like we're all part of this giant family tree with branches reaching across continents and millennia. And this research in Wallacea is helping us trace those branches, revealing connections we never knew existed. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? There are still so many unanswered questions about the history of Wallacea.
Oh, absolutely. This research is really just the beginning. As scientists delve deeper into ancient DNA analysis and explore new avenues of inquiry, we can expect even more groundbreaking discoveries, discoveries that will challenge our understanding of the past and illuminate our path forward.
Before we get too caught up in the excitement of what the future holds for this research, let's take a moment to recap what we've learned so far and how it all relates to you, our listener. Welcome back, everyone. It's time to wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating world of ancient migrations and DNA discoveries in the Wallacean archipelago.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It has, from intrepid Papuan voyagers to that complex genetic tapestry of modern Wallacea, we've uncovered some incredible stories.
We've talked about those challenges, like trying to trace the very first inhabitants. But there's also that amazing potential of ancient DNA analysis, for unlocking even more secrets from the past.
And of course, we can't forget about the impact of this research on the future of healthcare, particularly in the field of personalized medicine.
Right. Treatments tailored to our unique genetic makeup.
So let's bring it all home. What does this all mean for you, our listener? Why should you care about ancient migrations and DNA discoveries, things that happened so long ago?
Well, I think this research is a powerful reminder that history isn't just a collection of dusty facts in a textbook. It's a living narrative that continues to influence our world today, from our genes to the way we approach healthcare.
Yeah, it's fascinating to think that those ancient voyages across the ocean are still echoing in our DNA, thousands of years later.
Exactly. And by understanding that legacy, we gain a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of humanity, how our past shapes our present, and how our actions today will impact the future.
It really highlights the fact that we're all part of a much bigger story, a story that spans continents and millennia.
And for those of you who are curious about your own ancestry, this research offers a glimpse into those possibilities of genetic exploration. Who knows what stories are hidden within your own DNA, just waiting to be uncovered.
It's like having a treasure map to your own personal history, a journey of discovery that can lead to unexpected connections and a deeper understanding of who you are.
But it goes beyond personal ancestry. This research also underscores the importance of embracing diversity, not just in terms of culture and language, but also in our genetic makeup.
So it's not just about celebrating our differences, but recognizing that those differences are a source of strength.
Absolutely. And in the realm of healthcare, embracing genetic diversity is crucial for developing treatments that work for everyone, not just a select few.
It's about creating a more equitable healthcare system, one that recognizes and responds to the unique needs of each individual.
Precisely. And this research is a step towards that goal, reminding us of our responsibility to ensure that everyone benefits from advances in medicine, regardless of their genetic background.
So as we conclude this deep dive, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. This research has shown us how migrations and cultural interactions have shaped the world we live in today. But what stories are hidden within your own ancestry? What mysteries are waiting to be unlocked in your own family history?
Maybe this episode has sparked a curiosity within you, a desire to learn more about your own genetic heritage, or that groundbreaking field of personalized medicine. Whatever path you choose, remember that the pursuit of knowledge is a journey worth taking, one that can lead to unexpected discoveries and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
And that, my friends, is the beauty of a deep dive. We've only scratched the surface of this fascinating topic, but hopefully we've given you enough to pique your curiosity and inspire you to continue exploring. Until next time, keep those minds hungry for knowledge and those hearts open to the wonders of discovery.